Okay, so what if we need to convert from prefix to infix? Now this is kind of actually easier. What we're gonna do is group each operator with two numbers to the right if possible. So why include the if possible? Well, we're gonna notice here that there's not exactly always gonna be two numbers next to an operator, but we'll see how we can group those later. And then we're gonna undo each prefix. Okay, well, first let's do the first step. So with here, we're gonna see that starting from left to right, this has two numbers next to it, this has two numbers next to it, and this has two numbers next to it. So now we're gonna undo prefix conversion by inserting the operation in between the two numbers in the order they're presented in. So like I mentioned earlier, the order of the numbers haven't changed. So you might see times 3, 4, but again, you're just gonna copy and paste this multiplication sign into the middle of those numbers without switching 3 and 4 around. And then I'm gonna put that in parentheses just to show that that's one term and not get that mixed up with my next number. And then we have these two that we also have to convert back. So we're just gonna copy and paste this in the middle. Okay, and then I'm gonna add these two in the front, just so we don't forget them. And then we're gonna repeat until the whole expression is in infix. Okay, so now it doesn't really look like there are two numbers next to an operator anymore, but these two are technically, well, these three actually, these are all possible to be evaluated into numbers. So we're going to treat these expressions as if they were numbers. So we're going to group this plus sign with these two terms on the right. And then we're going to insert this plus sign in the middle of these two terms. And then finally, we're going to group this caret with, this is a little bit hard to see, but this is one term and this is the second term. So we're going to put this caret in the middle. We're going to end up with a lot of parentheses, but there are a lot that you can just kind of remove since now we can rely on order of operations. So there we have it. Another way you can solve this is actually by, okay, I visualized it this time by typing it out, but there's a little bit more of an intuitive way by writing it out. So starting from the left, we can put this caret sign in the middle, and then we're gonna draw this kind of like T diagram. And on the left, we're gonna have the left term. On the right, we're gonna have the right term. So since this is prefix, we're gonna go to the left term first. We're gonna put this plus sign here, and then we're gonna draw another T, and then the multiplication sign, and then another T, and then we're gonna fill in the 3 and the 4. And then since we're done with this side, we can go on the right side here. We see this division sign. We're gonna put that division sign here, draw a T, and then we're gonna see this 8 and then a 2. And then we're gonna be done with this side. And then we're gonna go to the right side, see that minus sign there, draw that T, and then the 7 and then the 5. So when you write this out, it's gonna be going from left to right 3 times, actually, I'm gonna type this out. 3 times 4 plus 8 divided by 2. And then I'm going to put parentheses here since we're going to have a power of sign. And then 7 minus 5. Oh. So that's the same thing we got earlier too. Okay, let's try this with another problem. I'm going to draw it out this time. So multiplication sign first, and then we're going to have our big T. The only kind of problem with this technique is that you do need a lot of space for your T since you're not really sure how complicated your expression is going to be on either side, so you might not have no space. But this is also a little bit easier to understand. So, okay, we're gonna keep going to the left. And then finally, when we write our answer, this is going to become 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3. I'm going to put more parentheses here, divide by 1, and then times. Okay, remember, go down all the way to the left first. So 4 plus 5, 4 plus 5, and then times 6 minus 2. Maybe you could also be careful to put parentheses here, because if this were a division sign, then that would actually be necessary. Okay. So let's see, next we have converting from postfix to infix. The idea is still the same, except this time you're going to group each operator with the 2 numbers to the left. So it's going from right to left. You're gonna group this minus with the 2 numbers to the left, and then you see this division with the 2 numbers to the left, this multiplication with the 2 numbers to the left, and then I'm just gonna type that out here. And I know I wrote this from left to right, but that's only because I'm just basically copying this expression here. Okay, and then you're gonna undo the postfix conversion by inserting the operation in between the 2 numbers in the order they're presented in. So you insert this multiplication sign here, insert this division sign here, insert this subtraction sign here, and then these, okay, well, this, and this, these are all 3 separate terms, so you can treat them as numbers. We're going to continue grouping, going from right to left. Reselect this text box. So going from left to right, right to left. You can't group this with anything here, but you can group this plus sign. So you're gonna put that here in the middle. And then finally, you can group this thing on the very outside and insert this caret in between. And then you can remove all the unnecessary parentheses if you want to make this expression look a little prettier. So this is actually the same expression from the last slide, if you noticed. Okay, now I'm going to do this practice with the drawing it out part. This one's actually going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit tricky since it's going to take up a lot of space. But we're going to go from right to left. Except this time when you draw it out, you're going to go to the right side here, and you're going to put the next operator there. And then 2, 2. Then go to the left side. On the left side, you're going to have 4 here. Multiplication here. Oh, I'm going to have to write a little small, it looks like. Division. 4. And then here we have an arrow. 3, 2. And then make on our way to the left. Okay, this is gonna cover up the words a little, but the last 2 are 3 and then 2. As you can see, this is why I sometimes prefer the typing out method, but this works too. And then when we present an answer, it's gonna look like this. So working 2 plus 3, and then this times, and then 5 minus 3, and then this times, and then going all the way left here, 2 to the power of 3, and then divided by 4, and then plus 4, and the parentheses around this whole thing, divided by 2 to the power of 2. 2 to the power of 2. Okay, next we're gonna